China called a new declassified U.S. intelligence report on COVID-19 unscientific on Sunday. The report claimed the pandemic could have possibly originated in a lab. Chinese Foreign Ministry spokesperson Wang Wenbin said in a statement, quote, "A lie repeated 1,000 times is still a lie," and added U.S. intelligence services have a reputation for fraud and deception. The U.S. briefing published earlier in the weekend said a lab leak in China was just as plausible an explanation as a natural origin theory to explain how COVID-19 first infected humans, but also that the truth may never be known. China has consistently denied allegations its virology lab in Wuhan was the source of the first outbreak, first identified at the end of 2019. A joint study by China and the World Health Organization published this year said COVID-19 most likely infected humans via the wildlife trade, and all but ruled out a lab leak theory.
Iranian hacking group managed to obtain personal records of thousands of Israelis by attacking a web hosting service in Tel Aviv. They now demand $1 million or else they'll expose a popular gay dating site, including names and personal information.
Press Secretary Jen Psaki testing positive for COVID-19, sharing a full statement on Twitter saying she is grateful that she is vaccinated and for the amazing Biden team. She wrote on Twitter, quote, "On Wednesday, in coordination with senior leadership at the White House and the medical team, I made the decision not to travel on the foreign trip with the president due to a family emergency, which was members of my household testing positive for COVID-19, end quote. She then went on to say that she had quarantined and tested negative for COVID on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. However, today she said she tested positive for COVID-19.
A man dressed as Batman's Joker attacked passengers on a Tokyo train line on Sunday evening, injuring 17 people, as many partygoers headed into the city centre for Halloween gatherings, Japanese media reported. One video uploaded to social media shows hordes of people running away from a train carriage. Another video shows passengers clambering out of windows onto the station platform. Speaking to local media, witnesses said the attacker was armed with a knife and spread fluid around the train to start a fire. Police arrested the suspected attacker on the spot, media reported, on the day the nation voted in a parliamentary election.
All right, let's now shift our attention to what is happening in Ethiopia, where the Tigray rebel forces have claimed to have captured the strategic locations in certain northern Ethiopian towns, fueling fears of the advancement by rebel forces into the country's capital. Now, the Tigray People's Liberation Front spokesperson has claimed in a tweet that the rebel forces are quote-unquote firmly in control of the Ethiopian town of Kombolcha. The claim comes just a day after the rebels had contended the capture of Dessie, which is also situated in the Amhara region. The Ethiopian government, however, has denied these claims, saying that the federal forces were mounting a fierce battle for Kombolcha and also the city of Dessie. If confirmed, the capture of Kombolcha will reflect a rapid advance by the Tigrayan People's Liberation Front in the nearly a year-long war.
For Nomvula Hlatshwayo, this is a daily chore. Sewage flows into her yard and sometimes into the home she shares with her family. Townships like Everton, south of the commercial hub Johannesburg, have historically voted for the ruling African National Congress. But for many like Nomvula, poor public services mean for the upcoming municipal elections, she's beginning to look at other candidates. Potholed or dirt roads, blocked drains, water shortages and power cuts are all daily realities for poor South Africans. And they've become reminders of the ruling party's unfulfilled promises.
We were called to Fisherton Tunnel in Salisbury at 6:45 p.m. tonight following reports of a train derailment which involved two passenger trains colliding. Officers are continuing to respond to the incident alongside our emergency service colleagues, and the line is expected to be shut for some time. Thankfully, there have been no fatalities. However, a number of people have been injured and a casualty centre has been opened at a nearby church. Most of these people are walking wounded. However, a small number, including the driver, have been taken to the hospital where their injuries are being assessed.